let's get into the accessories that come with this great machine. I'm also going to show you where they all fit within the accessory box, because some of these little holders are meant for certain feet. So let's go ahead and get started here. It's always like Christmas for me when I get to open up the bag for the very first time. Now, along with your accessory bag, in the box that this all came out of, there is a buttonhole foot that runs around there loose. So make sure you get a hold of that. And also, this is your USB stick that's for the embroidery side. So once we get to the embroidery videos, we'll go ahead and clarify all the cool things that that's for. So right now, a lot of that is going to just slip underneath this little tray that will fill up with the feet and bobbins. Now, before I get too far, down here, there's a little place where you can drop needles that maybe you use for just a little bit, but you don't want to just put it back in the new package. So you can drop them in there, and that long slot is for a twin needle. Isn't that great? They thought of everything. Okay, so just in kind of no particular order here as I reach in, we'll just kind of pull out some things and talk about them. So we have some thread nets. If you ever have some thread that kind of shimmies off the spool, doesn't stay connected, you can slip one of those over it, or if you just have thread like that's metallic or something, you can even just kind of contain the thread by putting one of the nets. We don't use those a lot. Most of the threads these days are pretty good, but it's nice to have those in with your accessories. This is a little screen cleaner, so easy to wipe it clean. This is a multi-purpose tool, so it's got, well, multi-uses. It will help sew on buttons and give that little shank of thread. It will help get over a denim seam. And look at that. It's got a little tiny hole that will help insert your needle. You drop your needle in there, the flat side stays to the back. It makes it really easy to get it in and out. So if your fingers are kind of hard and getting all the way in there, this is a tool for you. All right, you get a nice little pack of needles, universal needles, stretch needles, awesome. A little spool holder, kind of felt discs. They can actually, oh yes, we're still nice and straight out of the box here. Go ahead and peel that off. And there's probably one more over here. So nothing actually rattles around when it's all shipped. Okay, so now that we have the tape pulled off, I can show you what's under here. So sometimes when you put these spools vertical, you can put one of these felt pads underneath, and then that spool doesn't go spinning off or kind of get crazy on you. You have the tools for cleaning, and we're going to show you lots of things and places that you can get in and clean. Your screwdriver is going to be handy for taking your needle in and out, for lifting up this throat plate and taking that off. You have a seam ripper. Put the handle on, that's the cap, and then it extends the length of the seam ripper. You have your stiletto, which will sit nicely in here. I usually will recommend that you tie a little ribbon around that, and then that way it doesn't run away from you. Now let's talk about the feet. We also have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bobbins. There's one bobbin in your machine right now. You've got 6 bobbins to go with that. All right, so on your machine, when it comes to you, is your regular A foot. Your machine will always tell you right here which foot to put on for all the different stitches. There's also a B foot. A B foot has a little bit more of a cutout, and those will be for your decorative stitches, any stitch that's a little bit thicker and needs room to run out the backside when it's actually been stitched. So that is good. So we'll just kind of start to layer these in here. The only one that's real important is what is called the manual buttonhole foot. This looks just like that little other foot that I put into the bottom that has the red wheel and the plug-in. That's the automatic one. This one has a little length to it. See this little nub? That's for doing corded buttonholes. And if you put it in this next to the inside, see that little hole? That makes the foot sink down far enough so the lid closes. I told you they thought of everything. Next, let's just talk about our J foot. J foot is for doing overlock stitches. Has a little pin in there, so when you stitch over the edge of your fabric doesn't roll. Beautiful. If you have a serger, even if you have a serger or an overlock machine, that's a great foot to have close by, because sometimes you just need to do a little bit and you don't want to actually have to change anything on the serger. Zipper foot, we will give you a crash course on zippers. Notice it has two parts for the foot to attach, a left side and a right side, and then you can move your needle to be exactly how close you need it to be to the zipper. Love it, but notice it's a little wider foot, so it sits over here on the end. There's a little wider compartment for that. Last one is our blind hem foot, letter D. It is small toe, big toe. This one's higher up than this one, so they're two different heights, perfect for doing blind hems. But I'm going to show you during our video for denim seams or doing a denim hem how we can use this foot and cheat a little bit. So if you like to cheat, that's awesome. We'll use some of these foot for not their intended purpose. Okay, bobbins, you can just line those up. You have plenty of slots as you buy extra bobbins. There's one more foot down here, plus a few items. This is our foot. So our foot is for, you can do free motion quilting. We'll use this for embroidery. So it's kind of a foot that's going to hover over our fabric as we stitch. All right, last bobbin and spool caps. So there's a small spool cap that you're going to line up based on the size of spool you're using. So this would be more the proper size for this little guy. And then this one will be more suited for my larger spool that I'm about to wind a bobbin with and get started. All right, so extra spool caps. We'll just leave one out, tuck the other one down there. The last thing is this little sticker. Yes, that is a sticker, but it is slick on the grayer side. Those are for when you're going over leathers or vinyls. And this is going to, you can stick this on the bottom of your metal foot. The metal foot will actually stick against those plasticky fabrics. This will let you slide along. It's like a little Teflon coating for your foot. So you can move those around, and you can even put it underneath a zipper foot, and then that way this foot will not stick as you're maybe applying a zipper into one of those great little vinyl bags that you see all around these days. So those are awesome. All right, so that is all the accessories. Are you ready to get started? I am.